Hurricane Florence laying a path of destruction across the Carolinas. Hundreds of thousands of residents are now without power. Duke Energy spokesperson Neil Nissan joins me on the phone now. Neil, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Neil, so I'm reading we're so far 700,000 people without power, but that number projected to go as high as 3 million. What is Duke Energy going to do about this?
Sure. Well, we're feeling the major effects of Hurricane Florence right now. Obviously, this is a massive storm that's hitting us with not only high winds, but historic amounts of rainfall. We have about 500,000 customers out in our service territory in the Carolinas, and we have amassed an army of about 20,000 people ready to respond and restore power once it's safe to do so. We've brought crews in from Florida, the Midwest, as far away as Texas. And right now we're just waiting for this storm, which is moving very slowly, to move out of our territory so our employees can get to work and get the power back on for our customers.
I know it's early, Neil, but based on past storms, which of course few have been of this magnitude, particularly when we start talking about the water damage and the levels of flooding that you're going to have to deal with, is it too early to project when you might be able to get most of the power back on?
Yeah, it's a little bit too early to project. I mean, we're still feeling the effects, and this is a very slow-moving storm. It's dropping a lot of rain, causing a lot of flooding, and that's really one of the challenges with this storm, is that since it's moving so slowly across the Carolinas, it's really not ready to fully strike some regions for another day or two. So right now, our employees are ready to go. They're just waiting for it to be safe for them to jump to it and start restoring power as soon as it's safe to do so. We have the right plan and the right people in place. We're just waiting for the storm to sort of pass so we can get to work.
I've had the opportunity to speak to politicians, to rescuers and military personnel, and they've all sort of relayed how past situations have sort of gotten them prepared for this. You mentioned your plan. How are you doing things differently? How's Duke Energy approaching this differently than, say, the prior major storm?
Sure. We have some experience. Hurricane Matthew hit a couple years ago. We've been able to assemble a large contingent of people and pre-position them in areas so that as soon as it's safe to move into the hardest hit and damaged areas, we're ready to go. One thing that we've been using this year is technology such as drones. So in areas where there's heavy flooding and our crews can't get into those areas, we're using drones to assess damage, so we're better able to restore power quicker and also safer.
Neil, we're hearing reports or reading reports that there's certain areas in towns like Gaston, for instance, where the power's already out. The rains haven't come. How do you explain that to residents who may, be preparing to get out of town and may think they have a comfort zone, and all of a sudden the power's out? What's going on there?
Sure. I mean, we know how hard it is to be without power. We know how much our customers depend on us for that power. But this storm is a massive storm. It's uprooting trees. It's toppling power poles. We have a lot of flooding. So you may not see damage right near your neighborhood. It could have taken a substation out down the block. I think it's really a combination of the high winds and the massive amounts of rainfall that are really causing it. But we want our customers to know that, one, we are ready to respond as soon as it's safe to do so, and for them to also stay safe. Just because the storm has passed, that doesn't mean that danger is out of the way. There could be power lines that are down or sagging. They could be hidden by debris. They should treat all power lines as energized,
right,
whether they think so or not.
Right. Neil?
So their safety is obviously very important.
Neil Nissan from Duke Energy. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.